We're back. It's the Wrestling with a Business podcast, episode 6. AEW finally announces the new show, Collision, June 2023. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about wrestlers can now go on Twitch again. So that's going to be big news, especially for us here on Insane Games TV. So we're going to go over that and so much more in this episode of Wrestling with a Business. Run the intro. All right, and we're back. Wrestling with a Business, episode 6. I am back. Our greatest return on the episode so far. Okay, mark it down. So when you look up our YouTube videos of WWB's greatest returns, I'm going to be listed as a number 1, our only one. So that can change.
And the worst, the best and the worst.
So when I thanked you last week for meeting Teddy Long, I take it back.
We got Adam, we got Jeremy, we got Matt, we got myself. Another episode here. We're getting ready to kick things off. Let's start real quick. Sad news yesterday.
Yes. Well, for those of you who don't know, we record on Thursdays, and yesterday, Wednesday the 17th, the wrestling world lost an icon in superstar Billy Graham. And I know a lot of this generation's wrestling fans may not know who he is anymore. But to break it down, superstar Billy Graham, he was a bodybuilder turned pro wrestler. He trained with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he was one of those pillars that redefined charisma in the ring. Hulk Hogan is essentially a carbon copy of superstar Billy Graham. You take Hulk Hogan, it's superstar Billy Graham with a dash of Dusty Rhodes, and that's Hulk Hogan. Jesse the Body Ventura, hugely influenced by superstar Billy Graham. Ric Flair, his banter in and out of the ring, superstar Billy Graham. This guy created what we all see now as the legends, and these are what Billy Graham is what those guys looked up to, like we look up to Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, and all them. So super sad day in pro wrestling. So with that, to the Billy Graham's family, we pay our respects, and superstar Billy Graham, thank you for all the entertainment.
Indeed, I didn't know much about him. I mean, he seems like he goes back to a lot of the greats.
He's a legend.
And
legend.
How old was he?
I am
79.
79.
God
okay.
bless him.
He made it way longer than most wrestlers make it, frankly.
Yeah, and I think in that 365-day documentary, like, he was living with some serious medical shit. What he was going through escapes a bit, but he broke it all down in that documentary. 79, God bless him.
Yep.
Wrestling's a hard life. That's why I'm never surprised when we see a guy like a Roddy Piper, the Ultimate Warrior, drop at 60 or before 60 or right after 60. I mean, we're talking about guys who lived working, putting their bodies through nightmare and hell 300 days a year, traveling every day of the year for our entertainment, and he got that with drugs and whatever demons they might have experienced and picked up through those years. So 79, that's a run.
Yeah, there you go.
Definitely.
And with that, let's get the rest of the episode kicked off. We're going to go over recaps and highlights for this week. So let's kick it over to Jeremy, SmackDown.
SmackDown came from the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. Michael Cole and Wade Barrett on the mic, on the sticks. Whose hometown is Knoxville, Tennessee? Anybody? Anybody know? Who hails from Knoxville, Tennessee?
Are you talking about Mayor Kane?
I'm talking about your WWE Raw Women's Champion.
Wow, I was way off.
Bianca Belair. That'll come later. Show opened with the match of the night, frankly. It was segment 1, World Championship Tournament match number 1, Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles, and Edge. This was effectively AJ Styles' return to the ring since he disappeared at the end of the year. And let me tell you guys something. When you put 75 years of experience in the ring, you really get something for it. This was a great match. There were no serious high spots, no devil-may-care dives, none of that kind of stuff. Just great, technical, interesting wrestling. Told a great story. It was a joy to watch. Everything went downhill from there. Next up was the second match of the night, the second triple threat match for it. That would be Sheamus, Bobby Lashley, and Austin Theory. Only interesting thing about this was Bobby Lashley got color again, the hard way.
And this was the world title tournament.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley gets color the hard way and goes over, which was interesting. Cameron Grimes took on Baron Corbin. It would be unfair to call this a squash match. It was the most literal representation of a squash match I could ever imagine. It opened with Baron Corbin talking smack on the mic. They ring the bell. They each walk across the ring. And Cameron Grimes literally just double stomps him in the chest and then pins him, and the match is over. So I think Baron Corbin might be the best paid jobber in the business right now. Roman Reigns cuts a promo with the Bloodline in which he essentially neuters his cousins. Basically says that it's going to be him and Solo Sikoa taking on ZKO for the championships at Night of Champions. So he's stepping in. So a little drama there, making it a little more interesting. Liv Rod defended their championships against Damage Control, but honestly, does it really count if it's Damage Control? I really don't think it should count because they get walked all over. They attempted to hold a Bianca Belair celebration, a championship celebration, and they got the ring all set up, looking all pretty and beautiful. It lasted 10 seconds. She got on the mic, Asuka came out, stood in the ring, there was some weird handshake thing, Asuka spits in her face, segment's over. It took longer to set up and tear it down. But clearly they're trying to create some heat there. After the commercial break, they showed Bianca backstage wiping her face and freaking out. And the main event of the night was AJ Styles taking on Bobby Lashley. AJ Styles goes over. Does he deserve to be the inaugural winner? Does he go to Raw if he wins the championship? What happens next? So that's where things ended. It's a 2 out of 5. The opening match was great, but there wasn't a whole lot of story. There wasn't a whole lot of interest. Really, honestly, the most interesting thing of the night was not only did Bobby Lashley get color at the beginning, but it broke open almost immediately, and he bled like a stuck pig throughout the whole main event. So I'm wondering, maybe this is I'm hoping maybe this is a little bit of a culture change in WWE. Maybe they're going to let that stuff happen now. I'm not sure. Or it could just be a happy accident.
Maybe they're changing his gimmick to Bloody Lashley.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyways, Raw.
Greensboro, North Carolina. We start the show with Sami Zayn and Owens doing coming out, greeting the crowd, getting everybody fired up. We get the Judgment Day in. This basically just sets up their tag match for the main event that night. Big takeaway from this promo was Kevin Owens going to hit Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley stepping in between them, which broke the wrestling internet because now everybody wants to see them kick each other's ass in a ring. So I highly doubt WWE is going to let a guy beat up a girl on television, but we'll see. Maybe it gets.
Maybe the girl's going to beat up the guy.
Or
China.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
China.
Oh, okay.
Intercontinental champion, right?
Yeah, true. We'll see.
Things have changed since then.
Yeah.
But I do think if they did that, you gotta allow the male wrestler to hit back if you're gonna do it. I mean, you either gotta go all in on it, or it can't be some kind of cheap match or just.
I love Chris Jericho's hot take on this. He hated wrestling China.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of bad things to say. So.
Yeah, and what's his name? Double J loved it.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
All right, so match number 1, Nakamura versus The Miz, 8 minutes, 58 seconds. Nakamura wins. It was an okay match. Yeah, good start to the show. I didn't really get much from it. Next match number 2, 6-man tag. Psych.
Your favorite?
But apparently we have to have a gimmick match every Raw now. So we have a battle royal for the number 1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. Don't know how many people were in this thing. There was just a shit ton of people, and no one ever mentioned how many people were actually in the ring at the start of this thing.
Saw Dolph Ziggler. Which was great.
Yeah.
When's the last time we saw him?
They basically said NXT and everybody who's not being used tonight, get in the ring. With Mustafa Ali coming out with the win after 12 minutes, 35 seconds. I love battle royals, so this is kind of my highlight of the night. I love watching the over top and seeing how all the wrestlers react to each other, and
Okay,
choose how they're going to get thrown out of the ring.
We all commented on how it broke our hearts that Zelina Vega didn't go over and win the championship. They're going to Saudi Arabia. They're putting him in the ring for the Intercontinental Championship
And he's going to
in
lose.
Saudi Arabia.
And he's going to lose.
And they might not let them leave the country if that happens. Food for thought. There's a pattern here.
Yeah.
Format.
Match number 3, Dominic Mysterio versus Xavier Woods. Again. And like last week, Mysterio wins with some assistance from Rhea Ripley. So I really don't know what the point is in burying Xavier Woods 2 weeks in a row by the same guy. But hey, why not? It was a match. 10 minutes and 35 seconds. Match number 4 was Inda Shear versus Drake Thompson and LeVar Barbie. 1 minute 50 seconds. This tag team just crushed them. Apparently this is the next team that they're going to push. Match number 5, Raquel Rodriguez versus Chelsea Green. There was a promo where they're kind of making a big deal out of Liv Morgan's injury. Okay. This match goes 3 minutes 40 seconds with Rodriguez getting the win. The big takeaway from this was the return of Ronda Rousey and her tag partner.
Yep.
Shayna
Making
Baszler,
their presence known and throwing their hat in the women's tag. Yet again. So, match number 6, main event. This has to be the match of the night. If we're just watching it in general, this is what the crowd was most interested in. Judgment Day, Balor and Priest versus Owens and Zayn, with Judgment Day getting the win after 21 minutes even. And Imperium doing a little interfering after the greatest manager of all time, Paul Heyman, made a phone call to the tribal chief.
Yeah, that was interesting to watch.
Okay.
So there we go. That was Raw this week, and we got just over an hour of in-ring action on a 3-hour show.
Usual.
Typical. It was a typical Raw. I don't think. They're setting up storylines, but they're not really doing anything strong yet. They're just kind of suggesting at stuff. As always, we had our gimmick match, which was the Battle Royal. It was Raw. AEW.
All right. Well, AEW came from Austin, Texas this week. And the main takeaway from this show is they are building hard to Double or Nothing. They announced at least 3 matches for the pay-per-view in this episode. Wardlow versus Christian for the TNT Championship is going to be a ladder match. And I kind of want to see Christian win. But we'll talk predictions next week.
The internet wants to see him win, too.
Let's see. The International Championship, Orange Cassidy's championship, is going to be defended in a 21-man battle royal.
Well, at least we know how many people are going to be in it.
Because it's a blackjack battle royal
Yeah.
in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So
All right.
that should be fun. And Toni Storm challenged Jamie Hayter for the women's title at Double or Nothing. And the main event segment, that's what I'm trying to say. The main event segment of the evening was the return to full power of the Elite. Hangman Adam Page is back together with Kenny Omega and the Bucks, and they will be facing all 4 members of Blackpool Combat Club in an Anarchy in the Arena match. Now, the one thing that I wasn't crazy about was building towards the 4 Pillars match again at the pay-per-view. Sammy, Darby, and Jungle Boy all got matches. Sammy and Darby both had wins that were pretty definitive. Jungle Boy's match, however, he got dominated by Roosh. I mean, whole 10, 12-minute match, he was just getting beat down. And then he eked out a roll-up win holding the tights. So they didn't really give Jungle Boy the same kind of build that they gave the other guys. That was a little disappointing. I'm not sure how that's going to end up at the pay-per-view. And it seemed like there was a lot of teases of Sammy Guevara turning face as well. He went out to help out Jungle Boy at the end. They were in Texas, which is Sammy's home state, so he was going to get cheered there no matter what. But last couple of weeks really seems like they're turning him face. But otherwise, as always, Dynamite was a decent show. Go out of your way to watch it. That's all I got.
Ready? So, one question I have. Are we officially onto the rosters now for each show? That officially started, right?
Yeah, it started
started
last
last week.
Monday.
All right, so everyone,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Day
so
after
they're-
Backlash.
So
that
they're
type of
probably
thing.
definitely building all the storylines and getting people
They're-
mixed into who they got to get mixed into.
But they're
and
not.
It's WWE. It's gonna take 6 months for it to come up.
It's
It's never gonna.
like I said, there's subtle teases, but nothing's really committing. Like even they had a little segment where Natalia yet again kind of confronted Rhea Ripley,
Yep.
and it led absolutely nowhere. It's just a kind of a tease that this is where they're headed.
Ratings real quick. First off, Raw and SmackDown both up after no NBA. SmackDown 2.15 million. Raw averaged out about 1.7 million, and then AEW 877,000. I think AEW is up from the week before, but I think it's still down overall.
And they are stuck.
Yeah.
850 to 900. They're stuck.
Yeah, they're in that.
Yeah.
They're in
that rut.
SmackDown had a good showing, and then Raw didn't have the third-hour drop like they've been having. So
Yeah.
maybe they're finally starting to tweak that out a little bit. You know, when you have the best match in the middle of the show, that tends to happen. So,
Right. Yeah.
You know, let's move it to the end of the show like it should. WWE Falls Count Everywhere, finally on YouTube this week, so make sure you check that out. First debut episode, so make sure you go check that out this week. And then also next week we have a couple watch-alongs, Night of Champions and also Double or Nothing. Will be right here on Instant Games TV Twitch channel, and I'm sure we'll put some highlights on YouTube as well if anything happens.
We'll do predictions next week.
Yeah, so make sure you check that out. Some content coming soon. As for some news, obviously, let's start with the big news. AEW Collision finally announced, and like usual, you can't do anything without drama with CM Punk.
It's not on the poster.
I mean, so let's dive into this one for a minute.
That's a big.
What's
fuck
happened
you.
here? I mean, he's on, he's not on. The whole show was created for him, and now we're being told it wasn't going to be created for him.
So the rumors and reports, I don't know what's confirmed or not. He was coming back.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to work on Collision. They were going to have a hard brand split, but then communication negotiations broke down when it came to bringing back his buddy Ace Steel to the company.
Yeah, they wanted to premiere together, and
Yeah.
the company doesn't want to do that.
So apparently, there's another falling out. I don't know. I'm sick of hearing CM Punk drama.
Did you see he went on Twitter and kind of just lambasted the fans?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, anyone who's looking into the drama and
yeah.
talk, yeah.
There is some interesting.
Everyone who doesn't agree with his side of the story.
What's interesting to me is that you're getting conflicting reports. So Warner Brothers Discovery is writing press releases that are like, hey, CM Punk is not affiliated with this at all. But then you have like Fightful Select that's coming out and saying, no, he's still involved.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they're trying to like kind of cover up the drama. Like if Warner Brothers Discovery is, I don't know, kind of maybe things are kind of hanging a little bit. What do you guys think of the logo? The new Collision logo.
I think it has a little bit of old school to it.
Sharp
I like the
looking.
TNT logo.
It looked a
WCW.
lot like Nitro to me.
It does.
Yeah.
A lot like Nitro.
You know, I'll save that a little bit.
Okay.
I'll rant on that in a little bit. I did like the logo. I think now it's I read that Warner Brothers found out the day of to take him off of everything.
Yeah,
So
because
it
they
was
initially had his name on stuff, and then they
and
took
they
it off.
left it
Yeah.
all off, and I guess they left one link up that went back to a press release that was pretty much word from one they did, but they took out all of CM Punk's name. So clearly
Gotcha.
he was going to be part of it, and something happened one way or another.
Can we just take a moment apiece for that copy editor's career? It was
I mean,
over.
it's just like, but we'll talk about it later. So the other big news now is while we're talking about new TV deals and so on, up front for this week, Universal and Fox did not have a presence of WWE there. So that's obviously got the rumors going. And, you know, I noticed, I said when I saw this, I've been paying attention a lot to the Disney side of things and how they're reshaping all of Disney. They're cutting a lot of stuff. They're doing a lot. ESPN is going through a huge shakeup and change. And I said it makes sense to cut a lot of programming that they're going to be paying for and slap WWE on that. And you look at UFC's deal. You look at Pat McAfee just signing.
Mega deal with ESPN.
So ESPN's going to drop money. Okay, and I have a funny feeling with UFC's presence over at Disney and ESPN that, you know, you have Endeavor. They have all these deals that they're supposedly great at making. You know, they probably would label Disney, ESPN, ABC as a partner of theirs. They're probably gonna try to work a deal. I mean, why else would they not be being shown at any of the upfronts? I mean, come on.
No, like clearly WWE is shopping themselves around. They're hanging their shingle or whatever you want to say. As far as Disney's concerned, Disney is not doing well. Disney is not doing well at all.
Yeah, but they're not doing well with cost in paying what they're like. They can cut 3/4 of ESPN and put live programming on it, like a UFC show, WWE show, 3 times a week. That's a lot of cost they're saving. Not to mention you throw in advertising money. That could make up for it.
I don't know. My instinct is Amazon Prime.
Okay, shooting from the hip, real quick. If they're not going with Fox or NBC Universal, where are they going? Right from the hip.
Right from that, because of Endeavor, I say Disney.
Okay.
With the UFC.
Prime. They're going to Prime.
Amazon Prime?
Amazon Prime. Amazon's growing its sports. They're doing baseball games now. They're trying to get into that ring. They need to grow it. They've got the money. They're not in financial trouble. Amazon.
Yeah, if it's not Peacock, I think it's Amazon.
I'm gonna go NBC Universal. I think they don't do anything.
You don't think they do?
No, I think there's nothing to it, and I think that NBC Universal is going to spend a ton of money to keep them on USA Network like they had originally.
I must have misunderstood. What you were asking, because that's what I think. I don't think they're going to touch anything.
I did say if they were to leave. So if they were to
if they were to leave,
if they're going to leave, I'm going to say ESPN.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I don't think they're going to leave.
I don't either. I think they're established Peacock after selling their own network. I don't think they would be doing that to their fans again.
I think they're done with Peacock.
They didn't show up anywhere on Fox's.
I think they're done with Fox. I think Fox is like,
Fox
we're done with this.
If I was Fox, I'd be pissed. They just drained everybody out of SmackDown. We talked about it 2 weeks ago. They just drained everybody out of SmackDown, took everything away. They're shifting all the titles around. Clearly, they're making a move. Now, are they going to try to bundle everything together? I mean, what's the right business decision?
I've always loved, I said this a long time ago before they did it. It makes sense to have Raw and SmackDown, same network, USA Network, same time. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
And then they ended up doing that. Like, they finally did something that I always would walk around talking about. I think they got to go back to that.
Was that when SmackDown was on Sci-Fi?
Yeah. And I go, just put it on the USA Network like Raw and just have it all in one spot. Make the USA Network a WWE home of programming. And obviously they got to spend for it. But I think now with the digital digital and any type of content is through the roof right now. I think NBC Universal is going to pay a shit ton of money to keep the USA Network going. I think it's easy money. They don't have to look at all the money they're going to save not having to put TV shows on USA Network. Fox wants shows. Fox is going to put shows on USA Network. They don't want. They're going to put good shows on NBC.
Yeah, and the thing is, WWE has such a history with NBC anyway.
Right.
I can't not see Vince giving preference to them. I mean, we got to think about it. The original, Saturday Night Main Event was NBC.
Does
Money talks.
Vince make that decision?
That's what I was about to say. Unfortunately, I don't
It's
think
not
that
his
decision's
choice.
up to Vince anymore.
True.
And that's where I think ESPN comes into play.
But if he has an influence,
he does. But
That's a very interesting thought. This is going to be the first time in Vince's entire life that he's going to have to sell somebody else on something.
I'm sorry, Ari's gonna walk in and go, dude, I just spent this much money in WWE. I'm gonna put it wherever the fuck I want and for whatever amount of money I want to get for it.
Yeah,
and
yes.
unfortunately, I don't think Vince is going to win that battle.
This will be the first time he's not big dog.
And that's where I think ESPN comes in, because they already have a partnership with UFC, and I'm sure there's going to be hey, we spent this on UFC already. What's working a deal to add WWE? It's all under the same company.
And then if everybody's speculating that there's going to be some sort of crossover with, in some form or fashion
There's a lot
with
of
WWE.
opportunity. Yeah.
But for the love of God, just keep it on a network, please. No streaming services. I don't want it on ESPN Plus. I don't want it on Hulu. I don't want it on Netflix. Keep it on TV.
Why? Why should they do that? It's a dead end. You said it yourself. TV's
Not really.
dying.
Not live content's not a dead end on TV. TV shows is a dead end. I'd rather watch a TV show on Netflix. But live content, I don't want to watch NASCAR on an app. I don't want to watch.
Why is that?
I just don't. It's easier to go and just watch it on TV. I don't know. It's the principle of it. Live sports and live events stays on TV. This should be my rant. Count this as the rant right now.
Wait a minute. So you don't watch baseball when they air it on Prime and not on the network?
Okay,
Well, I don't
we are
watch baseball
currently
to
in the
begin
rant
with.
section of the
I
show.
hate baseball. Hence, we don't need to talk about it, but I hate baseball in general.
Okay.
But
Shut you down.
I'm just shocked to hear that.
I know, despite what I do, I'm not a big, I don't like watching baseball on TV. So, Little League baseball on TV, I'll watch. Softball on TV, I'll watch. They're entertaining and fun, but like regular baseball, no. Side note. But I just keep it on TV. It's only, here's the problem. It's only going to hurt WWE, and then 2 years later, they're going to be crying the blues that AEW beating them in TV ratings because, we're on a scripted service and they're on TV. You know what's going to happen. Just stay on. Sci-Fi, was it a disaster?
Well,
Was it? Was Sci-Fi a disaster?
I honestly don't remember.
What was a disaster?
When
I'm
they
sorry.
brought SmackDown over to Sci-Fi, even though it's still TV? Disaster.
Yeah,
No one watched it.
yeah, they lost a lot of viewership.
Right,
when they moved
and
it
that
over
was, we're going to try something new and go on a channel like Sci-Fi, and it was a disaster. And then they ended up moving it back over to USA Network, and then they got their viewers way up.
well, just because you're so passionate about this, I'm going to pitch that every October Halloween Havoc on the Shudder Network on AMC. Let's make it happen.
That was random.
That would be
Wait,
good.
should we count that as a rant?
Sure,
I don't know. I mean, I kind of exploded there about it. I mean, maybe we count that as a rant.
Okay, so let me ask
more
you
to
something.
say about it?
How many paying Amazon Prime members are there?
No, you know what?
How many?
No. Here.
How many are there, Dan?
No. Do you watch football?
How many?
Do you watch?
Give me the-
Does anyone watch NFL?
Yeah, I watched. Yeah.
Thursday Night Football, was that good? Thursday Night Football was an absolute train wreck, and because it was on Amazon. Nobody wants to buy an Amazon Prime account to go watch Thursday Night
We gotta
Football.
ring a
No,
bell
no, no,
here.
no.
Okay?
Look.
No one wants to
It
do
ta-
that.
It
Sit
takes
back, Matt.
time. It takes time. You're going to complain about the viewership of television in
This is gonna get good.
1932? Come on, it takes time. 200 million
no,
eyeballs
no.
are ready to watch that content. All you have to do
We're
is
on
convince them
Amazon?
to go there. Yeah. Q1 2021, 200 million Amazon Prime members. 200 million.
Okay, but how many of those are WWE fans?
Let's say 1/2 of 1%.
If I had to guess,
1/2 of 1% is equal to the ratings
if
that
I
they
had
have
to
now.
guess, the people that have Amazon Primes are the people that don't watch WWE, that quick get their things ordered, shipped in. They don't care
No,
anything
look,
about
man.
watching shit on TV. It's not. It's like NASCAR. The
People watch Amazon
the NASCAR
Prime.
demographic and WWE demographic are the same. Okay, they're not. Their income isn't that they're not paying $100 a year for Amazon or whatever it is now, $130. They're not doing that, and WWE people, kids that watch WWE are gonna go, hey mommy, can I get $130 for an Amazon Prime account so I can watch SmackDown? No, that's what it's gonna be. No.
Statista reports younger demographics seem to be the most frequent viewers of Amazon's video content.
What's younger? Is younger 20 or is younger 12?
No, young adults, millennials
So
and
20.
younger,
So
millennials
20.
and younger.
If you're 20, yeah, you may
35
have
and
an
under,
Amazon
38
account.
and under,
But how
whatever
many
that is.
people are 12-year-olds?
But what I'm saying
and-
is that's the future, Dan.
it may be
That's
the
the
future.
future.
But what I'm telling you right now, okay, is
Wait, hold on. You're arguing with him and you're staring at me. It's creeping me out.
I'm just looking for.
Yeah, keep looking at him. I forget.
The reality is nobody. I'm not okay, and I'm a guy that has a lot of subscriptions, right? I don't, and this is the same way in the video game market. When I buy a game for $60, I don't want a $10 monthly pass that I need to be able to play the game that I'm buying $60 for. When
enough.
I'm spending $75 on cable, I do not want, hey, go watch SmackDown, but you need to pay $50.
Do you have cable? Do you have cable?
No, I don't.
Do you have cable? Nope. I don't
Do you have
cable.
basic cable?
I don't.
But why you watch Hulu, right?
I have Hulu. Yeah.
As of a month ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So
What about you?
Sling.
Sling.
Okay.
How many channels do you have?
100 something.
Okay, ready? I'm gonna throw it right back at you. They don't have cable, right? Are you spending $130 now for Amazon Prime to watch WWE?
No, I'm watching.
No, are you?
WWE's not on Amazon
you have
Prime.
already.
WWE's not on
I'm
Amazon
just
Prime
saying,
right now.
if they go to Amazon, you get.
If they went to Amazon, would you go to Amazon?
I have Amazon, so yeah, I'd watch it.
But do you have Prime?
Yes.
You didn't say no a minute ago?
No, I have Prime.
Oh,
You
okay.
asked me if I had basic cable, and I said no.
Oh no. But Prime, you have to pay for.
It's like $7.99 a month. It's way cheaper than any. I've added it up. I've got
I'm
the
telling
Netflix.
you,
I've got
it
the
is
Paramount. I've got
not
everything. It's
a
cheaper than
good
cable.
solution to go to a scripted service. Not good. Not good. Not only do you have to, there are people out there.
We need to get Shane McMahon on here because he's the father of this.
No, but
streaming
I'm telling you,
service.
there
Here
is
comes
a
money.
He comes.
Look at WWE. Okay, your best numbers we look at WWE Network. What were their numbers? Because that right there would tell you.
You'll never find that out.
But that's that.
They're a private
If you're
company.
not willing to get the WWE Network, which by the way was a great deal.
No, wait a minute. WWE Network was never designed to go permanently on its own. It was designed to be a use case, a white paper,
Right.
an example that they could take to a network that already had the infrastructure in place to say, hey, there's a base here that wants it.
Right.
Right? The same thing that everybody's trying to do now.
But
it proved its case,
WWE
so they
Network was one of the first streaming
yes,
services.
so it proved
But
its
if
case,
people
so
weren't
they
going to
shut it down.
spend $9
experiment
or
was
$10
over.
a month to get that, why would they spend $10 a month to watch the live content when they can just go watch highlights on YouTube? Or read it? Why?
But that's the case that already
And you were
exists
getting
today.
far more with the WWE Network than you would be getting with getting just being able to watch it.
That case already exists today, though. You can already go to YouTube. And
I'm
watch
just
clips.
saying it would not be a good idea to go to any type of service that's not on cable. I don't think not only do you have to sign up for the service, you then have to pay additional for it. It's a whole. I'm telling you,
Everybody's already paying for it. 200 million people. Anybody under the age of 60 has an Amazon Prime membership.
I don't think you're looking at
You're
that the right
already
way.
there. They're already there.
I don't. You know what? You have to look at Thursday Night Football. It's football, but you have to look at Thursday Night Football. It was a train wreck last year, and it's all over the news about it. Amazon bought the rights to Thursday Night. Yeah, look. Remember, this is a good study.
72 million. There are 72 million total cable TV subscribers. That's it.
Cable. Are you adding like?
72 million in the
Now, what
United
does that
States.
include? Everything?
Just anybody that subscribes to anything beyond basic cable.
Does that include like
72 million
YouTube
people.
TV?
No.
All right, well, there's a lot of people that do that now.
Basically, it's through Bios or Time
Spectrum.
Warner, one of those carriers.
So-
I almost said Adelphia.
So my best argument for this is just going to be look at Thursday Night Football.
Yes.
You have to look at
In
that
the
because that's
first
exactly
year,
what it is.
It didn't work. Neither did the WWE Network. It took 5, 6, 7, 8 years. It proved itself.
Yeah,
Then they shut
in
it
8
down.
years, your deal's up and you're looking for money elsewhere and you're moving on. You want something that's going to work right away.
No,
Not,
and-
hey, you
and
know what?
the other
5 years
thing-
in, I think we'll be able to get.
No,
well,
no.
in 5 years, our deal's up.
The other angle of this is that if Amazon wants to get their foot in the market, which is the assumption that I'm making here, they're willing to
Oh, they
overpay.
will. They can definitely
They're
drop
willing
the
to
money.
overpay for
Oh,
it.
they'll definitely overpay.
They're
to
willing
drop
to do
it.
the Rings of Power or whatever.
I'm just telling
spend
you-
$1 billion on that.
That I don't think WWE would do well. They may get a bunch of ton of money from Amazon for it, but I don't think long term they're going to do well. I think it'll open the door for AEW to move up and really hit them where it hurts, ratings and people watching. If WWE loses that, what they have over AEW, that's going to be a very big problem.
They got to fall a long way to lose to AEW. It's a long way
You
down.
cut over to a service you got to pay for. I think that's going to be a big step.
They're already paying for the service.
I'm telling you right now.
200 million people.
It's not the same. You say that.
200 million people.
It's not.
200 million people.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you just witnessed was a sneak peek of our next spinoff called Wrestling with the Business. Ring the bell.
I'm annoyed.
Stay
Listen to
tuned
the
for
podcast. All right, so we got to make up some time here. So let me shoot right off the hip here on everything. A lot of rumors starting with Money in the Bank. Who's going to be in that match? Bray Wyatt nowhere to be found. A lot of concerns over LA Knight getting the. I guess his match was cut off, and but I guess the rumors are going that he's still getting a big push. So
Didn't they say that Bray Wyatt was removed from the roster list too?
he's nowhere like
roster.
inside. He's
Yeah.
like not in any conversations of content or storylines at the moment.
He's still on the website though. He's still
Gotcha.
an employee.
Seth Rollins, his chance of winning the title may not happen. I guess there's a lot of concerns about him with movie deals, and
Yes,
so that
he's
could be very
on the set
interesting.
for the new Captain America movie.
So let's give the belt to Seth Rollins, and then he's just not going to be around like Roman Reigns. So that's a good solution. So maybe Finn Balor is starting to look a little more attractive for the winner.
Will it be AJ
Yeah,
Styles?
it's AJ Styles.
Or AJ Styles. Oh, that's right, AJ Styles. Why was I thinking Finn Balor?
Because you want him to win.
He should win.
Maybe.
He should win it if Seth Rollins doesn't.
But you know what? I can see AJ Styles. You know,
I would love to see AJ Styles
I mean,
win it.
both those guys would be great not first time, but would be great holders
Inaugural.
of the new title.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put it on a veteran. They did it with Jericho.
And then two other things, new WWE music themes coming pretty soon. I guess they finally have decided to start making some new ones.
That music is terrible.
Well, since they let Johnson go.
Right. He made some great ones.
I'm talking about dumb move.
And then some backstage talk on content. Vince is apparently doing babyface storylines, and Triple H is working on heels. Interesting.
Yeah.
Keep
know,
that in mind.
Each one's
Yeah.
doing
Going
the other
forward.
one. So that's about it for news and rumors. I think we already got that covered.
Yeah,
I think
that's
Rick said, and I think we got two things done in one there. So let's move on to discussion topics. So WWE and Twitch. This happened a while ago. We never really got a chance to talk about it with all the stuff going on, but it was always a big topic in WWE and for a long time was wrestlers had their own Twitch channels. You look at Xavier Woods, Up, Down, Down, very big, successful YouTube and Twitch channel. Did a lot with other wrestlers. I don't think that ever stopped, actually. I think they might have kept doing that. That might have been the only one that was allowed to continue. But a lot of once that was successful, you saw a lot of other superstars starting to do their own channels. I know AJ Styles did one for a while, and then it got shut down. WWE was like, nope, we're done with that. And that caused for a lot of drama backstage, a lot of, you got to look at it from a wrestler standpoint. It allows them to make some extra income while also building their brand.
People left. They got let go.
And,
Adam Cole left.
Zelina
over it.
Vega was gone and then came back.
But it was just a sense of WWE saying no. And it was like, no, you can't do that. You can't build your profile and your brand and make some extra money doing it. We own your rights is what it came down to. We own your character name, your character bio. We don't want you doing it. That's basically what it came down to.
And a lot of them started up during the pandemic when they weren't getting money for live
Right.
shows and
Signings.
merchandise and whatever. Yeah.
This just kind of dawned on me. You know what's funny and kind of ironic about this whole you're not allowed to do anything on social media? Vince fired Sergeant Slaughter for kind of the same reason. Sergeant Slaughter was starting to do stuff with G.I. Joe, and G.I. Joe was going to put out an action figure.
Gosh.
And Vince said, no way, we're putting out action figures. You can't make money off of that action figure and sell your likeness. Slaughter said, I'm taking the deal from G.I. Joe, and he fired him. And Slaughter was out of the business for about 5 years, and then he came back as the turncoat for WrestleMania 7.
There you go.
So Vince
Tales old time.
He's always been
kind of
in it.
has a history of if I'm not making money off of you, you're not making
Right.
money on yourself.
Well, so now they've done a complete turnaround.
Yeah,
and
he folded
they
this
allowed
time.
it now where they can go out and do their own thing. They can do ultimately, I think, no restrictions on it.
I think Triple H really lobbied
Yeah.
for that too.
One minor restriction, and if you're going to have anybody else from other networks, you got to get permission first.
From other companies.
And I think that's the reputation Triple H has backstage, is that he really understands. I mean, look, if you're the chief of content and you have all these superstars, I don't understand why it hurts to have these superstars working on building their characters and people getting a follow. Like Xavier Woods, I know he's obviously very popular with New Day, but like he's built a pretty good, strong fan base off of his video game
yeah.
content. I mean,
Huge.
WWE 2K23, he's literally the face of it. Like,
Yeah.
and, you know, he's literally the face of it. And who's the other one? I can't think of now. He's not on TV much anymore. Not Dolph Ziggler. Kind of like a Dolph Ziggler.
Tyler Breeze?
Yes, Tyler Breeze. He's all in the video game Twitch now and up, down, down. And he built his I think now that is his profile. And really, the only thing he really does is video game content. So, I mean, let these guys go out and you know build some money and build a brand. You know, I don't see where it hurts WWE.
Right.
Right. Well, I mean,
Well, the first time someone has a drunken racist rant,
No, that could be a problem.
WWE might change their mind. But I'll tell you, Triple H has the hardest job of anybody in the company because he's got to look like the boss, but he's not the boss. He's got to explain the decisions of the boss who isn't the boss to everybody in public, and then he has to turn around and try and like cobble things together in the background.
Keep everybody happy.
I mean, in the last few months, I watch interviews with him, and I feel really bad because he's getting these questions, and he's got to be like, I have to answer this because I'm the boss, but this is a terrible decision. I don't support it at all, you know? I think some people in the community understand what's going on, so they give him some, this is clearly a Triple H decision. They give him some cover there. But the idea of, and then having him be your father-in-law at the same time, I mean, it's just a nightmare. I don't envy him in the
I
position
think it
he's
will
in.
pay off over time. I do. I think, look, I mean, Nick Khan is Nick Khan. No one really gives a shit what he's doing as CEO. And then Vince McMahon, he's done soon. You can say whatever you want. The guy's, 80? Give it another 2-3 more years. I mean, Triple H, and I'm sure that Ari is going to make Triple H the face of that company, just like
great.
Dana White.
Yeah.
And they are, I mean, so Triple H is going to deal with the bullshit, I think, I hope. I mean, I think any WWE fan wants Triple H around. I
Right.
mean, so we were all hoping that he deals with the bullshit for a year or two or whatever. I mean, and eventually it's going to come to a stand where Ari is going to say to Vince, look, Vince, you're executive chairman, do that shit, let Triple H run the company, or let Triple H run that brand. And I think, Nick Khan's a business guy. Nick Khan's no creative guy. Nick Khan's not involved in wrestler talent or superstar talent or anything. It is Triple H. And I think Triple H is going to make, hopefully, I think his presence known and build that pretty well under Endeavor, I hope. And I think this is a good point of it right here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
you look at all the people that's come back. I think we came back because of Triple H. William Regal, I went back because of Triple H. You hope that continues.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes.
I'll
I
bet
mean,
you.
I hope, if Cody Rhodes is coming back, I mean,
There's a gravity to him. There's a gravity.
and we're at that time now where wrestlers have had their time at WWE, have had their time at AEW, and now they're deciding. For a while it was just we're so used to WWE, AEW must be better. You know what I mean? Like, it must be better than this. And then you go over there, and you don't know what if you like, or you're not getting booked, or you're not having what you want, you're not having a good title
getting
run.
crowded.
And it's getting crowded, you know what? But you know what? WWE might not be that bad. Or you know what? Look at Cody Rhodes. Not all that popular. Went over here, rebuilt himself into a huge character, a huge fan base, and now he's much bigger over here now. Like, you're going to have a little bit of both of that.
Yeah.
And, I think you may see some people that left WWE that come back now because of Triple H and vice versa. Some are going to leave because of Triple H.
And this
I
Twitch
mean,
deal.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
soon Tony Khan's going to have to do a lot more to keep people.
And that's
they-
why he needs that.
And they
TV
have a lot
deal.
of renegotiations coming up, I think.
He
coming soon.
needs that money. He needs that 200.
Well, he got some of it now, so let's see where it goes,
He needs it.
Yeah, so that's you guys get any more about the Twitch stuff or
No,
I
no.
think we covered it.
Can't wait. Follow the content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be good.
nothing wrong with that. What else you guys want to go over? We flew all over the place. We already talked about the NBC Universal. We got into that heated argument. You want to talk about Vice TV's
Yeah,
Dark
let's
Side?
talk about Dark Side of the Ring. So season 4, despite there were some serious questions, right? Like, Vice is going belly up. They were a $6 billion company, and now they just sold for
$225 million.
$225
Wow.
million.
That's
So
a big drop.
Wow.
they're in big trouble. Everyone was wondering what was going to happen with season 4. It looks like season 4 is coming out. I know you've had a look at the episode list. Have you had a look at the episode list?
I have
Dan,
not.
have you had a look?
No.
What did you think of it?
Other than a couple, none of them really stood out to me as being as interesting as previous seasons.
Let me read them because I've got them here. Chris Candido and Tammy Sunny Sitch.
That would
Sunny
be a
is a
good
train
one.
wreck. Yeah.
That would
That's
be
a good one. Sunny's is it? Magnum TA, Adrian Adonis, This one I'm excited for. Doink the Clown, because that's an interesting character to me.
Yeah, and they're probably going to do the first one because the first guy who played, I can't think of his
Matt
name.
something.
Yeah, very controversial, very off-putting, very
He was a creepy ass
Yeah.
character. in the beginning.
Junkyard Dog, Marty Jannetty,
That's
That's
the
going
other
to be a
big
good one.
which is
That's
gonna
gonna
be
a good-
nuts.
Yeah.
Bam Bam Bigelow. Can't wait to see his mom. Abdullah the Butcher.
That'll be
That'll be a good one.
yeah.
WCW Bash at the Beach 2000, which I'm interested
That could be
in.
a good
That would be a fun one.
That
I
is
mean,
sick.
for us who grew up in the WCW era, that's going to be
the
a fun
one
one
where
to watch.
Jeff Jarrett laid down
Yes.
and Russo threw the belt at Hogan, right?
Yeah.
You're the reason, brother, that this
Yeah.
company's in such bad shape.
It was a work that turned into a legit shoot.
Yeah.
A very legit shoot. I mean,
Yeah.
they were going back and forth in the ring. It's
Well, they
great.
ended up. I think they ended up Bischoff and Hogan suing everybody after it. So
If you don't want to watch the whole thing, but you got 30 minutes, watch Wrestling with Regrets review of that pay-per-view. It is, I mean, I remember watching it as a young man. It's way worse than I remember. Way worse. And the last one is the Graham family. They always got to do a family one.
Okay. I mean,
that's not bad topics considering all the topics they've done.
They've already done.
I mean, they've like the major ones, the Owen Harts, the Montreal Screwjob,
I mean, who's missing?
the Ultimate Warrior. I mean, Elizabeth and Savage. I mean, like,
yeah, and
Eventually
you're
they're
kind
gonna
of
run
running out of shit.
I mean,
you know?
and then
yeah.
they did ones you don't know much about, like the Superfly Snuka story.
Or
and
the
all
Death
that.
Match guy.
And then the plane ride from hell.
And
Oh
Nick
yeah,
Gage.
Gage.
Yeah,
Yep.
Gage, yep.
Plane right from the hell.
Plane ride from hell. That
Pain Ride from Heck.
Heck. Woo!
So yeah,
I'm
Maybe-
excited for it. I mean, I'm going to watch it.
they do good work. So
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna watch
it's,
them.
that's not a bad.
They're
list.
adding talent too as they grow bigger. You know, before it was a lot of behind the scenes guys, and now they've got a lot of screen guys on there. Names you'd recognize, people you know. I mean, they're getting Stone Cold on there talking, and you know, before it was like only non-WWE people basically or retirees.
wasn't Jericho the narrator for a
Yep,
season?
For a
Jericho.
while, yeah.
Yep, was narrating for a while, so
well,
it'll be good.
the pod god Conrad Thompson,
Until they destroyed Ric Flair with the plane ride from hell,
he gave them a show every week called Dark Side of the Podcast, where
Podcast, right.
the creators of the show would come on and discuss that week's episode every week. So I mean, like, they got traction. They got
You know, it could be a
Yeah,
topic
so-
for FallsCon anywhere.
Yeah, there we go.
At least the good episodes we like.
yeah.
Reviews.
All right, guys. I think that's going to be it for this episode. Make sure you like, follow, comment, and share. Make sure you check out Falls Count Everywhere, dropping every Monday now right on YouTube. And then we also got the watch party coming up next week. So make sure you guys check
We'll have
that
fun
out.
with that. That's going to be more of a loose.
type show.
Yes, we'll be doing that.
Looser than
May-
this episode?
This episode was tense.
Hey,
I
well,
loved it.
May 27th and 28th, right?
It's going to
Next
be
weekend?
Saturday the 27th around 1, Sunday the 28th around 7.
Perfect. Yes, make sure you guys check that out. And of course, make sure you keep watching so we keep doing episodes. Until next time, adios.